Who is ready to end Faust? Goodness gracious. Okay, so I am so excited to be done with this. I ain't gonna front. I am happy that I read Faust. I am able to say like, oh yeah, I was reading like classical literature, and Faust in particular is like, I love devil deals as a concept. I love the danger, like innate to that sort of thing. Reading Faust has actually been super difficult because I just do not think I don't think it's very well written personally. I understand that's literally personal preference, but that's just how I feel. You're not working out to Faust this time. You're gonna be out with the flu, gonna be hanging out. No gym this time? Okay, well, I hope that you feel better soon. Because, like, I don't know. Anytime someone's like, oh, I'm sick, I'm just like, take care of yourself. Get what you need to get done. Get your responsibilities done. Do whatever chores you need to get done. And then do one thing that you reserve for, like, oh, I'm always too busy for this. I can't do this. Like, no, treat yourself when you're sick. Drink that soda. Have those crackers. Curl up in under that blanket with like some hot cocoa or like some like tea or soup or like webcomics or manga or whatever. Like, treat yourself with that one thing that you do, because everyone knows you ain't getting that elsewise. Feel? Like, it ain't like you're gonna be able to just do that normally. So if you're sick, might as well. Like, it will help you recover faster at bare minimum. Or if I have to leave early, I have to board a flight in like an hour. Well, my hope, I gun through this in an hour. 2 chapters. 2 chapters and we're done. And if I read this second chapter, and it's not done after that second chapter, because like I have Egmont. What is Egmont? A tragedy in 5 acts? What? Is this another? No, this is not Faust. I just have these 2 scenes. I'm not going to get distracted. I'm going to read these 2 scenes. Then I'm going to be done. After that, I'm going to do some chores. Then I'm going to hop on a recording. I'm going to finish reading Girl Frame. Which means it is possible I will be able to get Girl Frame done for next week. If I can read through the rest of Girl Frame today, probably beans. I need to do a video for tomorrow. So if I after Faust, I finish reading Girl Frame, I record it, I can upload those to Patreon, the raw recordings. I can write script, I can record, I can use those clips, I can make a Girl Frame video, edit it for next week, probably end of next week. I will be busy the following week. Arrow focus time, arrow focus. Arrow writes, famous for not being able to be distracted. I will tell you, I am someone who my biggest weakness when it comes to being focused is if I have to do something that I can't just like do. I know that makes no sense. If I am writing something, if I am reading something, if I'm like in it, I'm in it. If I'm playing a game, I'm in it. If I ever have to look something up, like I'm writing about a topic and I need to research something, I will be distracted for half an hour. Not even because I'm like, oh, I'm distracted by Twitter or whatever. Like, sometimes I am, but because I generally don't like. I've started scrolling Twitter now, and it's one of the worst decisions I've made. And the reason I started scrolling it is because I'm trying to be more active on all of my social media accounts, and that means being on those social media accounts more regularly. And so I open Twitter now, and I don't like it. Because like I didn't grow up with Twitter. I didn't have Twitter until I made it for a content account. I really would just open it, post it, scroll a little bit, close it. Now I'm like opening it because I'm like, I have nothing else to do. And then I guess that's doom scrolling. But like, I'm not doom scrolling because I'm only doing it for like 10 minutes at a time. But no, I will absolutely be like writing something. And I need to look something up for like a reference. And then I look it up and I get distracted and I click on something else. And then I go down a rabbit hole and then I close out of it. And then I go back to what I was writing. I'm like, all right, I need this reference. Or like editing. I do this all the time with editing. Don't interact with Twitter. It's so toxic. Twitter and Blue Sky. Like, I don't like Twitter. I'm not gonna lie. I'm anti-Twitter. But I'm not gonna pretend as though Twitter is not still the largest social media platform for its niche. As a content creator, I would love to be able to able to be like, yeah, I just don't use Twitter. But there are businesses and there are other content creators and there are potential viewers who only use Twitter still. So I don't really like invest in it. I don't have premium, for instance. But I just kind of like, I'll make a post, I'll copy paste it from Blue Sky over to Twitter or Twitter over to Blue Sky, and then I'll just paste them at the same time. I post my schedule on both of them, and that's about it. So, in Faust, we had Faust. He made a deal with Mephistopheles. He sold his soul. When he dies, he's going to serve Mephistopheles. But before that point, Mephistopheles is going to serve him. Cue about 8.5 streams of just non-stop Faust being like, hey, Mephistopheles, can you do this for me? And Mephistopheles saying no. And then Faust getting pissy, and then Mephistopheles saying, yeah, sure, bro, I got you. And then doing it. Intermixed with about 3 separate occasions where there was an entire scene devoted to just illusions of other properties and mythologies that, as far as I can tell, have no reference outside of just being cool. And also, Faust stabbed a dude who was the brother of the woman he was trying to seduce and marry, because he fell in love with her after drinking a potion that made him fall in love with the first woman he saw. And then she died? She went to jail, and then she saw a door to hell. And then we just solved warfare. We just solved warfare. That's what we did. I'm 90% sure I already read this one. I had 2 left. Licinius, Accursed Bell, It Tinkle, Wound Me. Caitiff Shot. And then what was the last thing that happened? Birds of Gay Plumage. Right. So what's happening is that now Faust is a landed lord after helping with the war. He has land and people and vassals, and Mephistopheles is going around causing problems for him. Mephistopheles, with the 3 strongmen, the 3 like servants that he has, were like, they set fire to a building that they were supposed to just basically evacuate, or they were supposed to like evict the old people inside and then they killed them. Something like that. I don't know. Things are going bad for our boy Fausty. He deserves it, but like things are still going bad for him. Great forecourt of the palace. Torches. As overseer leading the way. This way. Come in, you lemurs. Stumbling, hobbled, abortions out of sinew, bone and tendon cobbled. Here we are at your command. We've half heard why we came. It is all about a stretch of land, and we are to reclaim it. Sharp pointed stakes, long chains with all, the measure with we brought in. That doesn't fit the rhyme scheme. On us why you were pleased to call, that we have clean forgotten. Sure. That's what lemurs sound like. I could have been like King Julian. The work here needs no artist touch is nice. To measure from yourselves will quite suffice. Let him that's tallest lie upon the ground, and then you others pile the turf all round. As for our sires, they did prepare a sunken pit oblong and square, out of the palace to the narrow home, such is the sorry end to which they must come. Oh my lemurs, there's a funny thing related to lemurs and MTG. Oh no. Digging with elvish gestures, I can only assume that means that they're using magic. In youth, when I did love, me thought 'twas very sweet, where mirth was free and jollity, that place for me was meet, but age with stealing steps hath clawed me with his crotch, up grave, its door I stumbled over, why leave they open such? The clink of spades, what rapture in the sound, hark! Multitudes at work to do my bidding, the soil of what disturbs it ridding, imposing on the waves abound, and draw a strong curb the sea round. Yet all your labor spent for us alone, with your fine dams and bulwarks vast, you're but preparing a superb repast for Neptune, the sea fiend, to feast upon. You've trumpeted, and done for every way, into our hands the elements play, destruction onward is striding fast. Right, I forgot that Faust also was greeted by, like, faith and hope and care or something. And care was like, yo, Faust, people still care about you. And he's like, middle finger, screw you. And care is like, oh, okay, bye. Inspector? Here. However, Wherever you may, get laborers, heaps on heaps, excite by threat, cajoling, extra pay and extra cheer, to work with all their might. Each day I'd have the tiding brought me, how the trench is getting on, they're digging now. Their talk to me, it is as if they gave no tidings of a trench, but of a grave. The marsh that spreads hence to the mountain's base, empoisons all the land already gained. But drain the noisome swamp off from the place, my highest aim were then attained, though not quite safe. Still there would be broad hands, free from the tillage of a million hands. Fields green and fertile, men and cattle both would to the virgin soil draw, nothing loath, hedging themselves betimes by dike and mound, which their bold busy hand will pile around. Within are a very paradise, outside, however may rage thy angry baffled tide, striving to sap, to force an entrance, each and all rush swiftly to close up the breach. Yes! The one thought absorbs me wholly. Rife with wisdom's final lesson, and most true, he only merits freedom, merits life, who daily has to conquer them anew. So, girt by danger, shall youth, manhood, age, pass kindly here their busy pilgrimage. Such swarming multitudes I fain would see, free people standing on a soils free. Then, to the passing moment, might I say, oh, linger yet, thou art so fair, so may the traces of my earthly day not with the ages fade away in air. In the foretaste of such high bliss, I seem even now to enjoy the moment all supreme. The lemur seize him and lay him upon the ground. Him does no pleasure sate, nor comfort, nor gain content. From change to change his fancy ever went. The last vile ever moment fain would he, poor creature, as it flies, retain. He who defied me with so high a hand, time masters him, there lies he on the sand. The clock stands still, hushed is midnight, the index falls. It falls, 'tis quite finished, 'tis finished quite, 'tis past. Pshaw, past, a stupid phrase, why past? Past and pure nothingness are one at last. What boots this evermore creating, when things all sweep into nothingness again? There, now 'tis past. From this what can we glean? 'Tis all the same as though it ne'er had been, yet round and round it goes as though it were. Eternal void I, for my part, prefer. Burial. Who has with shovel and with spade built up the house so vilely? For these I'd guessed in hempen vest, 'tis finished much too highly. Who has so badly furnished it? Chairs, tables, where are any? 'Tis snug and strong, not let for long, the claimants are so many. The body's down, and if the spirit would only come out, I very quickly should show it with my blood-rip bond. But nowadays men have, alas, so very many ways of getting souls out of the devil's clutch. The old way out of date has grown, the new we do not fancy much, else I had managed all alone. To help from others I must now resort. We're all together in a sorry plight. Long well-established usage, ancient right. Who can rely on them, or who, in short, trust anything to be what once it was? Once with the latest breath out came the soul, like cat on mouse emerging from its hole. Snap! And I had it fast within my claws. Now it hangs back, and is averse to quit the loathsome corpse that foully harbors it. The elements that hate each other send it ignominiously packing in the end. For days and hours perplex me how I will. When, how, and where is the sad question still. Old Death has lost his power so swift and stout. The weather even hangs tediously in doubt. Oftentimes on rigid limbs I've gloated, then found 'twas all sham. They moved, got up again. Hither away, faster than ever you flew. Lords of the straight, lords of the crook and horn, chirps of the old block, devils bred and born, and bring the jaws of hell along with you. Hell has jaws manifold, that gape to suit your different shades of dignity and rank. But people too, in this their final prank, will not be so particular in the future. The cornered teeth gape wide. From the abyss, the raging stream of fire leaps forward, and I see, through whirling smoke and flames, that roar and hiss the city of fire, where flames eternal be, up to the very teeth the blazing eddies play, that damned swim in hope to escape their doom, but the hyena crunches them, and they, howling in pain, their fiery path resume. Much more is left to spy in corners there, encompass small such agony supreme, naught could serve better sinful folk to scare, but they regard it all as lies, and fraud, and dream. You of the fiery cheeks, you all glow, full fed on brimstone, fat and broad of beam, short, clumsy, stiff-necked. Watch you here below, if anything like phosphorus shall gleam. That is the soul, Psyche with wings. These steel, 'tis then a loathsome worm and nothing more. The moment I have stamped it with my seal, off with it to where hell's fire whirl and fire whirls and roar. The nether regions be your care, ye paunches, dusty bids you so. If the soul had its favorite lodging there, with certainty one cannot know. Within the navel its delights to dwell, 'twill give you thence to slip. So watch that well. You giants, capering round with limbs disjointed, strike out into the air, no pause but snatch, your arms outstretched, your talons sharply pointed, that you the flighty, fluttering thing may catch. It finds, no doubt, in its ancient home a bore, and the first wish of genius is to soar. Kin to the blessed above, envoys of heavenly love, onward still follow, bearing in trust, pardon to sinners, life to the dust. With slow beating wings, as a long year sped, on all living things, benign influence shed. I hear discordant sounds, a hideous note, come with the unwelcome radiance from above. A mawkish chant it is of girls and boys, such as your canting tricksters dearly love. You know how we, by curses agonized, plotted destruction to the human race. The most disgraceful thing that we devise seemed to their pious souls not out of place. They come, a sneaking, hypocritic set, so have they snatched from us full many a prize. With our own armies they fight us, for what yet are they but devils clothed in masking guise? Lose here and you're all eternally disgraced. To the grave, clean to its margin, hasty, haste! Roses that dazzle so, balm-breathing, living, fluttering to and fro, inly life-giving, floating on leafy wing, blossoms half-opening, hastening to blow. Scatter around you, spring, verdure and glow, paradise bring to the sleeper below. Why do you duck and shrink? Is that hell's wont? Stand fast, and let them scatter as they may. Each to his place, fools! Show a steady front, they think, forsooth. With such flower rubbish they can fiery fields as with snowflakes o'erlay. Before you breathe, 'twill shrivel, melt away. Blow, then, ye blowers! Gently, gently there! The whole true belch before your scorching air. Not quite so strong. Shut mouth and nostrils too. You've blown a deal too fiercely. Pest, that you to hit the due proportion never learn. You more than shrivel, you scorch, you wither, burn. They flutter down with poisonous, piercing flame. Stand close, and meet them fearlessly. Oh, shame. What? Quailing still, all courage gone and spent, a strange, bewitching glow to the devil's scent. Flowers blessed and beautiful, flames gladsome bright, on hearts that are dutiful, shed pure delight, love every way. Words with pure truth that ring, clear as heaven's opening, to hosts immortal bring, everywhere day. Curse on these idiots, ill bestead, these Satan turns heels overhead. Round, round like wheels they spin, the paunchy brutes, and plunge tail foremost into hell again. I hope you'll find your well-earned hot bath suits, but I will here at my post remain. Off, jack-of-lanterns, puh. For all your flash, grasp, and what are you to me but mere loathsome squash? What? Flickering still? Begone with you! They cling about my neck, like pitch and brimstone sting. What with your nature wars, you must abjure it. What on your spirit jars, do not endure it. If it will force its way, front it we must and may. Only the loving love, heavenward can sway. I burn all over, head, heart, liver, bone, a hyper-diabolic element. They are more piercing than the fires of hell by far. Ha! Now I see why ye make such wild moan, ye hapless lovers, who, through sweethearts spurn, to look at them your neck can't choose but turn. Why to that side is even my head bowed? I, that to deadly strike with them am avowed. Time was to see them set me on the rack. What strange things this has pierced me through and through. These dear young things are charming to the view. Why can I curse them not? What holds me back? And if I let them o'er me mastery get, who then henceforward may be called the fool? The pretty rascals, I detest them, yet they strike me as by much too beautiful. Fair children, pray inform me, are you not of the great race of Lucifer begot? You are so pretty, fain I'd kiss you. You, methinks, appear at the right moment, too. It is so nice, so natural, as though I'd met you 1,000 times before. You set one's consciousness all aglow. Each time I look, you charm me more and more. Come nearer. Oh, vouchsafe me but one glance. Behold us. Why recoil as we advance? We still advance. If stay thou canst, then stay. You rail at us, spirits damned, and you are of sheer wizardry the masters true, for you lead man and womankind astray. How cursed this adventure is! Love's element, can it be this? A raging fire fills all my frame, scarce on my neck I feel the scorching flame. You hover to and fro, come down and sway your gracious limbs in somewhat worldlier way. It suits you well, I grant, that earnest style. Yet fain I'd see you but one moment smile. That were for me all utterance sweet. A smile, I mean. Like that when lovers meet. A slight turn of the mouth. The thing is done. You there, tall, shapely lad. I like you best. 'Tis wrong to clothe you in a priestly veil. Give me one loving glance, one, only one. A scantier robe, too, were more seemly, kind. These sweeping folds too decent are by far. They turn about, to view them from behind. They're quite too troublesome. They're quite too toothsome, the young rogues they are. Ye loving flames, quicken more clearly and calm. To souls remorse stricken, let truth being a balm. So themselves from the thrall of the ill they may rest, thenceforth in the all in all merge and be blessed. How is it with me? Like Job, from head to heels, all boils, a horror to oneself, but yet triumphant when one probes himself and feels reliance on himself and on his race. The noble devil parts all keep their place. 'Tis but skin deep, this liquorish fuss and fret. Those plaguery fumes already are burnt out, and now I curse ye all, right round about. The man o'er whom you, holy flames brood, is purged from death's gloom, lives blessed with the good, in unison blending, sing upward ascending. The air, it is purified, spirit breathe free. They send, bearing away with them the immortal part of Faust. Yeah, because he was such a good guy, right? He was just such a deserving, loving, amazing person who only wanted what was best for everyone else and didn't literally sell his soul to the devil in order to benefit himself at the expense of others. He didn't go around causing problems for other people purely to amuse himself. And also, he literally consorted with an actual, for real, straight up devil for presumably years, if not decades. But no, it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. But how is this? Where have they gone? Ye milksop chits! You that witted me! Away to heaven they've with their booty flown. That's why they nibbled at this grave, I see. Great and unique the prize they have withdrawn out of my very fingers. The high soul, that by its own free act I held in pawn. They flinched away, clean out of my control. And now to whom shall I complain? Who will vindicate from me my well-earned right? In your old days you've been bamboozled. You have well deserved your present direful plight. I've bungled quite discreditably. Quite outlay have lost, and shamefully withal. Let vulgar lust, a silly, amorous heat, the devil's tough well seasoned self enthrall. If, after all this has seen and known, he lets such childish stuff his wits benumb, not small the folly is, I needs must own, that to such weakness could at last succumb. Okay, so Mephistopheles is gay. He liked the lad the best, and also showed no interest in women prior. Cool. I don't know if the community accepts Mephistopheles, given he is literally a devil, but hey, he was like, yo boy, why don't you wear something skimpier and like turn around for real quick? Which was very funny. And also apparently, angels used like bouncing a wow magic. Unless I'm reading this incorrectly. They, with the warmth and light of heaven, scared away all of the devils. Oh, it's also a child? Oh, that's bad. Yeah. Mephistopheles, we don't accept you. Because, like, I don't know. I don't know if it was, like, cherubic or whatever, if it was, like, actual literal, like, chorus of angel children. If that's the case, Mephistopheles, bad. Also literal devil, so I guess that kind of tracks with what a devil would want. Bad Mephistopheles. But did they like, was Mephistopheles just not able to like keep it in his pants? Did they use magic on him? He accused them of using magic, which is like, I wouldn't assume angel magic would be like putting a vulgar lust, a silly amorous heat on the devil's tough, well-seasoned self-enthrall. Like, wild. Yeah, how the F did this dude get into heaven? I don't know how Faust gets into heaven. Like, literally, I thought the whole point of... So obviously it depends on what denomination you're a part of, what your religion is, and I'm not going to speak on an authority of that, but my understanding is that like you have to do things to get into heaven. It is not a everyone is welcome, and if you like ruin it, you're out. It's you have to live a virtuous life in order to get into heaven. And he lived the least virtuous. He is the poster child of a not virtuous life. He literally like got someone else killed, and I think maybe even like sent her to hell as a result. I don't even know. So yeah, Mephistopheles, unbased, cringe, I would say. You were so sassy. Why were you a weirdo? Why did you have to be problematic? We're being canceled on twitter.com as we speak. So, the holy anchorites. Mountain defiles. Dispersed among the slopes, stationed among the clefts. Forests are waving here, rocks beetle vast and sheer, roots to the ground are braced, stem thick with stem enlaced, brooks sleep and sparkle clear, sheltering caves darkle near, harmlessly gliding round, dumb lions roam, honor the hallowed ground, love blessed home. Really? Another new character? Like, I get it. This is probably some famous historical reference. It's like a saint or a pope or like some folk hero or whatever. Like, I should know who this is. I don't. Is this like a religious figure? I don't know who this is. Therefore, adding a new character in the final chapter is about what I expected. My honest thought was that it was going to end like it started, where it was going to be Mephistopheles talking to God. And it being like, ho, 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 even with all of your tricks, devil, that won't stop me from saving someone. And then Mephistopheles going, oh, ho, ho, you silly. Joy evermore burning, love's fiery yearning, heart anguish glowing, God's bliss overflowing. Arrows pierce through me, lances subdue me, clubs crush, confound me, lightnings flash round me. Kill every trace in me of what is base in me. Shine, star evermore, eternal love's core. As the rock chasms here at my feet, rests all its weight on yon deep chasm beneath. As countless sparkling rills together meet, ere in the torrents fall, they foam and seethe. As the tree stems shoot evermore above, high and more high by its own inward strain, such and so worketh the almighty love, that moudleth of all things, and doth all sustain. Around me here is a tumultuous roaring, as though the wood and precipices shook, and yet 'tis only the delightsome pouring, down the steep cleft of the abounding brook, will fertilize anon the valley near. The lightning, which spread wreck and death before, does it not serve to plunge the atmosphere, that vapor born in its breast and poison bore? Envoys of love are these, and they proclaim what evermore creating girds us round. Oh, may it in me too light a holy flame, when my chilled soul in chains of anguish bound, perplexed with thronging doubts and ill at ease, is tossing to and fro in sunken gloom. Oh God, my torturing thoughts appease, my hungering heart illume. Though the pine tree's waving tresses low a dawn cloud onward rolls, and with it, such my guess, is born a chorus of infant souls. It's like this is a chorus of infant children. Are these angels? Is that what this is? I don't know the theology of it enough to be if like all angels are children. Tell us whither we are going, Father. Tell us, who are we? Happy are we, bliss overflowing, to us all it be, to be. To us all it is to be. Boys at dead of midnight born, soul of sense but half awake, straight away from your parents torn, rank with angel host to take. Come, draw near, obey your feeling. One is here whose love is true. Happy ye, no trace revealing of earth's rugged ways in you. Drop into my ears an organ fit for man in earthly sphere. Use them as your own to gaze on all that lies around us here. These are trees, these rocky ridges. This is a river that its steep down rush to the chasm of bridges by one mighty arcing leap. 'Tis all grand, but sad it makes us. 'Tis too somber, too immense. With uneasy dread it shakes us. Father, Father, take us hence. Mount to higher spheres supernal. Ever all unconscious grow. By God influences eternal. Through his presence strengthen so. For sublime there reigns the healing power that feeds the spirit's mood. Everlasting love's revealing, quickening pure beatitude. Hands intertwined in a circling ring, feelings divine and gladsomeness sing. God teaches you, hear him, trust in his grace. You who revere him shall look on his face. Rescued from the evil one is our brother soul here, who hath nobly wrestled, run him. No. Faust did not nobly wrestle with the devil. Faust got a power trip by the devil. Faust immediately let it go to his head by the devil. Faust did nothing to benefit those around him except throw money at a woman in order to sleep with her. You can tell me, oh, he's a virtuous man that made a bad decision and, like, despite his bad decision, he can still be saved. You can tell me that. But tell me a story where that is the moral, not a story where he does literally everything wrong and then he's saved anyway. The moral of Faust is not don't sell your soul to the devil. The moral of the story of Faust is sell your soul to the devil because you'll get bailed out. You will just be saved, trust me, bro. That is the moral of Faust. Jeebus crisp. Rescued from the evil one is our brother soul here, who hath nobly wrestled, run, him can we enroll here. And if 'twas love's divine behest that sin should not defeat him, then will the spirits of the blessed with cordial welcome greet him. Roses that from hands were sent, loving, holy, penitent, help us to inflict defeat and our lofty task complete, rescuing this precious soul from the evil one's control, as we strewed them on their head, demon strength and devils fled. Not the wonted pangs of hell, but love's anguish on them fell. Even the archfiend, with pain, quivered, pierced through every vein. Shout aloud through all the sky, we've triumphed, victory! Alas, still with earthly taint is he encumbered, not yet with the pure, a saint may he be numbered. When spirit force strong hath the earthly attracted, then this with itself has interwoven and compacted. No angel can part what is twofold yet one, by love everlasting, this alone may be done. Round yonder peak on high, mist-like and trailing, spirits of good I spy, hitherward sailing. Now clears the clouds away, I see a bright array, circling and soaring, boys, blessed boys they be, set from earth's burden free, wrapped and adoring, drinking quickened life from all beauty rife. Fresh to their gaze unfurled, here in the upper world, let him, where they begin, perfected, blessed to win, be mated with them. Him we are fain to receive as a chrysalis. Thus we attain to the pledge of angelic bliss. Loosen the films of earth, he is still heir to. Even now in his second birth, he is great, fair too. Who's Dr. Marianus? Here the outlook is free, the spirit aspiring. Women I yonder see floating up, quiring. Midmost in wondrous sheen, star-crowned and beaming. Lo, there's heaven's queen, glorious gleaming. Ruler of sky and earth below, in thy azure vaulted, unto me vouchsafe to show thy mystery exalted. Bless all that in man's heart hath fired, emotions gentler, dearer, and, with a saintly love inspired, to thee still draws it nearer. If thy behests inspire our will, what then may daunt or curb it? But if thou biddest us to still our calm, which may disturb it? Virgin pure from spot or taint, mother, holy, tender, queen, elect of us, and saint, throned with God in splendor. Light, cloudlets free, around her are bent. Women they be, that have sinned and repent. Sinned in their weakness of nature too tender, now in all meekness kneeling to render, lowly contrition imploring remission of sins from her grace. Man, I just hate how, like, kind and tender and meek women are and how they constantly fall to sin as a result of that. Oof. Man, women are just so icky. Man. Acting as a mystic contemplative leader of a holy anchorite community who prays to the Virgin Mary for Faust redemption. Objectively, it is a good thing for someone not to go to hell. Like, my understanding is that the more people that are in heaven is a better thing. You should not wish eternal damnation on basically anyone, because that's just that's literally the worst thing that could happen to you in my understanding of this theology. But, like, come on, Faust did not deserve this. Faust did not deserve, like, oh, he's too tied to the natural world to be considered a saint, but he's up there. Oh, he's up here with all of the other folks that have fallen to sin by how kind and tender they were. Like, no! No! Man's is at best a penitent sinner. Man's is at best someone that made poor choices and would like to do better, which he has not expressed. Unless I missed it in the last 10 streams, I don't think he has ever expressed regret for his actions outside of being like, man, I just want to live forever. man, I'm just so cool and awesome. I should just like ascend past this mortal coil. Man, I feel bad about the fact that like I stabbed this dude, but not because I feel bad that I literally murdered a man, but because it lowers my chances of getting with his sister. Like, okay, like, for a while, I was like, okay, Faust, I like the core premise. You lost me in the second book. Now I'm unironically like, I think Faust kind of sucks, just overall. Because like the parable of this, the story, the main messaging is, no, it's fine to sell your soul to the devil. You will be saved. No, it's okay. You could like, and if that's the messaging there, that was like the pop culture understanding of like, oh, it doesn't matter what mistakes you make in life because in death you can still be saved so long as you are a virtuous individual, like, and like you can make mistakes, you can make poor decisions, but so long as you're a good person, like you will still be safe. Like that would make sense. That would make sense if that was the story of Faust. No, the story of Faust is a man who was so overwhelmed, like who was so enraptured by his own intelligence, tried to ascend past mortality and made the ultimate foolish decision, and he pays the ultimate price. And like, no, this says the opposite. This says if you're cool enough, you can just make a deal with the devil and suffer no consequences. Every consequence Faust has suffered has not been due to the fact that he made a deal with the devil. When it was him stabbing the brother and getting run out of town, or the woman he was after, like dying in prison, or being chased out of the court of the emperor, or like dying at the very end, which, let me just say, it went from in the same scene, him being alive and talking about, hey, make a trench, to, okay, now put me in the ground because it's a burial. I did not realize Faust had died. It was called Burial as like a subheader. I did not realize Faust was dead. Like, admittedly, this is a theme that I'm seeing with classic literature. It is, as the game of telephone has progressed over the centuries, people get further and further from the actual text, and they haven't read it, and so they don't know what it's about. I saw this with The King in Yellow. I'm seeing so many references to The King in Yellow, and talk about how in The King in Yellow, madness. Oh, it's all about madness. It's about Carcosa. It's about like losing your... No! The King in Yellow is like 4 stories where kind of creepy stuff happens, and then like 6 stories that's just like 1890s romance, which was fire, by the way. Which was fire, I must say. That was better than most of the... like the romance stories were better than most of the cosmic horror stories. I will say that straight up. So like, I might do something. I'm thinking he deserves to suffer the crackback from his deal. See, this thing, I don't even think that's fair to say. I just think it's like, why are they talking about him like he's some paragon of virtue? Like, why are they speaking about Faust as if he's some, like, stand-up guy who didn't do anything wrong? I am thinking, like, so now that I'm going to be done with Faust after this, I'm going to swap off Faust from member streams. I'm going to swap off reading from member streams. What I might do, I want to keep reading, because, like, honestly, I really enjoy weekly reading streams. I might do it on Twitch, of all things. I might wrap up Darkwood, read another book on Twitch, and then have my weekly YouTube streams be one normal chatting stream and then one like 2-hour let's make a Kane character, let's make a Vampire the Masquerade character, let's make a Wild Seal Lancer character. Because I feel like if I keep the let's make a character stream to like 2 hours, that would help for people who are like, how can I make a character? And then they can like be, okay, this is like 2 hours, but I can just like put on ×2 speed. And then they can listen to the stream, and then I'll go on tangents and I'll answer questions and whatever. But ultimately, like, it will be more accessible. Whereas the, like, I want to give stuff for members, but I don't know what I should give, because I can shoot to make something early, like long form early, and upload that, but who knows. Anyway, to thee whom passion could not touch, still it hath been granted, that those who fall through loving much may come with trust undaunted. 'Tis hard from ruin to defend them, so their weakness blindeth. And who by his own strength may rend the fetters passion bindeth. How on smooth slippery slope the feet slide swift to their undoing. That was a fun sentence to say. Whom fool not words and glances sweet, and flattery subtlety wooing. Up thou soaring to regions eternal, hearing our imploring, thou peerless supernal, thou rich to overflowing in pardoning grace. By the love that bent in weeping, o'er thy Son, divinely born, his feet with balmy teardrops steeping. Spite of Parisiac scorn, by the box that dropped profusely, ointment precious, odor fine, by the tresses clustering loosely, that did wipe the limbs divine. By the spring, wherein to dim it far ages Abraham's flocks were led, by the pitcher's cooling rim that touched his lips, the Savior dread, by the clear, full source that now well out there in stream abundant, through the universe to flow, ever sparkling and redundant. By that hallowed spot and dear, where was laid the Lord immortal, by the arm in warning clear, raised that thrust me by its portal, by the 40 years I passed, in deserts lone and of true repentance, and by what of the sand at last I traced a blessed farewell sentence. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. I'm not reading that. Like, I'm happy for you, or I'm sorry that happened, but I ain't reading all that. Thou who art from greatly sinning never dost avert thy face, still for their repentance winning an eternal resting place. To her who only once forgot herself, vouchsafe thy blessing. To her who fell, yet weeded not wherein she was transgressing. Incline, incline, thou peerless one, bright with effulgence of light. Unto my bliss thy glance benign, my early love, my lover, all trial struggle over, returns to me, is mine. Already us far above towers he in might, richly our fostering love will he requite. From life were we born, ere its lessons could reach us, but he hath been taught there, and he will teach us. In rapt amazement he is lost, while round the choir celestial shineth, he grows so like the heavenly host, that his fresh life he cares divinest. Lo, every bond of earth hath he, off with his holium vesture flown, and in celestial panoply, arrayed, come stately forth and young. Vouchsafe, I may be his teacher, still dazzles him the unwonted light. Come, mount to higher spheres, and he will follow, holding thee in sight. Touched hearts the true repentance know, gaze on those pitying eyes, and ever grateful, ever grow more meet for paradise. May ever better thoughts serene be to thy service given. Oh, bless us, Virgin Mother Queen, omnipotent in heaven. Is the Virgin Mary supposed to be omnipotent? Can we turn stuff in for you, Reed? Yeah. So on suggestions over on the Discord, by all means, let me know. I don't know when I'm going to read is my issue. I don't know if I want it to be like every Wednesday I'll read like 2 chapters of like book X, and then every Saturday stream I'll read 2 chapters of book Y, or if it's going to be like all Saturdays I'm going to tank through book X, kind of like I'm doing with Faust. I kind of like the idea of starting up. I read 2 books a week. I read like a chapter, 2 chapters every week of each book. So like I might do like The Count of Monte Cristo and Moby Dick, where Saturdays I start by reading Moby Dick, and otherwise I start by... I mean, I could just make them videos. No, I like streaming. Like, I could just, in my own time, off stream, record myself reading, stitch them together, cut out parts where I mess up, and make it like an audiobook. But like, that's not what I'm doing. I'm doing this for stream. But yeah, so if you have any suggestions, turn it in Discord. All in Earth's fleeting state, as symbol is still meant. Here the inadequate grows to fulfillment. Here is wrought the inscrutable. Silence that awes us, love eternal mutable. On ever on draws us. We are done with Faust. I don't care about reading all of these. Yeah, like, I'm so done with Faust. Like, actually, one of the worst things I've read. I'm so disappointed in this. I'm so disappointed in Faust because, again, I love the trope of the devil deal. I love the allusion to Faust. I love the modern conception of what Faust was. And not only is that not the case, it was just poorly written. Like, The Monkey's Paw was one where I would have preferred it focused more on character. I would have preferred it gave me a bit more time. I really wish it had like a page more to devote more time to the characters. And I think that would have been fine. Like, and I recognize that that's just because that's just different writing styles. It was a short story. They're not trying to focus on character. King in Yellow, very hit or miss. Very hit or miss. I really enjoyed some of them. I really did not enjoy others. What I will say, the fact that this was a rhyming play, I want to read Shakespeare now. And I don't know how long Shakespeare would be. Like, for instance, like if I just like read through like all of Hamlet, like what are some short Shakespeare plays? Because again, I'm trying to think like what's public domain? What can I read without getting in trouble? What have I not read before? So like Midsummer Night's Dream, Taming of the Shrew, The Tempest, King Lear, Othello, like a lot of classic Shakespeare, a lot of well-known Shakespeare I haven't read. I've only read or seen, I think, Romeo and Juliet and Hamlet. I think those are the only two Shakespeare plays I know. Like, I could do Midsummer, because Midsummer is all about the Fae, right? Midsummer Night's Dream. Midsummer Night's Dream. Yeah, it's a comedy written by Shakespeare. How long is it, do we know? So there is 5 acts, where each act is about 2 scenes. Do we know how long each scene is? Because Midsummer Night's Dream is something where if I can just get through like an act a stream, that's 5 streams. And if what I'm doing is that it's like on Wednesday, I open by doing like 2 scenes from Midsummer. And then after that, I go into my normal stream. We'd be able to just like kind of tack that on to like 5 streams. I think that might be fun. It's 25,000 words. That's not that long, is it? How long is it? Word count of King in Yellow. King in Yellow is roughly 35,000 words. So if this is 25,000 words, then I think King in Yellow took me like 6 streams. This would probably take me like 5 streams because it would be like 1 act per stream. I mean, I could do that. Although that would probably be like devoted streams to it. Well, don't worry about it. There's nothing there that you should not have seen. So yeah, I definitely think I want to read something shorter. I do not want to read another Faust length thing right now. In the future, I might be interested in one that's longer. So like word count of Monte Cristo. That's 300,000 words. Oh my gosh. Moby Dick. Word count of Moby Dick. That's about 200,000 words. So like all of those like classic like novels would be like 3 times the length. I mean, I was thinking Frankenstein. 75,000. Moby Dick is tiny. 200,000 words though. Like I understand it's tiny for a novel. Well, actually no, 200,000 words is like 4 times the requirement for a novel. Like it's considered novel length if it's 40,000. Moby Duck is tiny. I mean, that's different than Moby Dick, I guess. So throw some suggestions in the suggestions channel. Next week on Friday, I am just going to have a normal stream where I probably won't do members only, but it's going to be like a 2-hour stream where I'm working on I'm doing like a work study thing, and it'll be like, hey, feel free to join me. I'm going to be focused on the Kane distortions. And then I want to get that done. And then I will probably shift gears to the Stone Age TTRPG. In Search of Lost in Time, I am not going to trust that. I'm sorry. This may have been the shortest stream I have ever done. This is going to be sub 1 hour. Crazy, I know. All I was doing, running through 2 different scenes in what is now probably the worst thing I've read in the past couple of years. Okay, I didn't finish it. I was listening to an audiobook of Catcher in the Rye. I can't finish it. It's so boring. Catcher in the Rye is so bad. And I wanted to reread it. Or I wanted to read it because in high school I was supposed to read it. And I didn't. Because of course I didn't. I didn't read any of the books in high school that I was supposed to read except for one senior year. I was supposed to read Catcher in the Rye. I didn't. But I've heard Catcher in the Rye is one of those stories that the older you get, like different stages of your life, you change your interpretation of it. So I wanted to see if my perception of Holden changed. And he was insufferable. And the story was really boring. And the narration wasn't very interesting. And it's something where like, yeah, I can appreciate the whole like, oh, as you get older, like you feel more sympathy for him because you understand he's just like a scared kid that doesn't actually know his place in the world. But like that doesn't make it less not interesting. That doesn't increase the interest for me. That just makes it so that like instead of being like, hey, I hate this character, I'm like, I just don't like this book. It's only 9 million words. What's that like one fanfic that's like the longest piece of literature in the English language that's still ongoing? I should just read that. I probably wouldn't get in trouble. What are they going to do? Sue me? Okay. I'm going to hop off tomorrow. Darkwood. And a voiceover. No, Mega Dungeon tomorrow. I need to make a Mega Dungeon video today. Well, this morning I woke up with a Mega Dungeon idea. So we're pogging. Awesome. It's the Loud House revamped. I should just read one. Yeah, I can read One Piece with all of the panels, unredacted, unsaid. Or I could read One Piece, but I read it. I just read it like this, like, whoa. Oh my god. Whoa. Luffy, no! Guys, this is crazy. And like, I just don't even show you what I'm reading. It's literally just like, it's like a watch along or read along kind of deal. Well, so the Loud House revamp, wasn't it like a Super Smash Bros. Fanfic for the longest time? And then now it's shifted. Which like, I know someone who wrote fanfic, and they over the course of like a summer wrote 1 million words for their like self-insert romance mafia fanfic of a series. And I don't understand how or why. All I know is that they didn't edit. All I know is that they refused to edit because they're like, yeah, well, I really embarrassed looking at my own work, so I imagine their work was kind of trash. I did not read the million words. I'm sorry. But please, if you're writing anything, edit. Speaking of editing, just the other day, just this past week, I got a chance to go to like a writing group, like a local writing group at a library, and I just like showed up and I just edited some old work that I had. I have a book that I wrote before content creation. Wrote all the way through, start to end. Had some edits. Edited it. I was on like 4th draft. Open it up. I sit down. I'm like, okay. I'm in a writing group. I could work on like a TTRPG. Or for the first time in like 2 years, 2.5 years, I can sit down, properly focus on this story that I put down when I picked up content creation. I'm gonna have to rewrite it. Like I don't even think what I wrote previously was bad. There's just so like I read one chapter And basically line by line, I was rewriting like every single sentence. I was adding more imagery, more description. I was making it so that even like I understood what I was going for at the time. I understand what I was going for at the time, but like just making it delivered in a more punchy, concise, while simultaneously more evocative way. I'm like, I'm gonna have to rewrite this entire thing, which I'm gonna love doing. I just don't have the time for it. So that might be another thing that I might do on like Friday streams, right? What I'll probably do is that for Friday streams, I will finish Cane Distortions. Then I will work on the Stone Age TTRPG. Then I will make Cane homebrew set like supplement where it's like talking about the different sites and all of that. And by the time I get to that, I will probably have finished my Cane game with my player. So I'll be able to do like a post-mortem on it. And that will probably take me multiple months of just like once a week working on that. Because like obviously my goal is to also work on these things off stream, but just kind of like hey, for like 2 hours on a Friday, be productive with me. And probably not members. I'm going to probably stop doing member streams, which yes, that does mean I'm giving less content to members. But my hope is that with the long form that I'm hoping to do more regularly, I can make that publicly accessible to members first. Hopefully. Got bored of your flight by? Well, I'm also going to head out. So thank you so much for swinging by. If you're in the chat or if you're watching the VOD, thank you so much. I am so glad to be done with Faust. And have a lovely day, evening, night, morning, or whenever. Bye-bye.